Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back. Another Facebook Live of our series on the action plan. I'm back again here today with Praveen. So, good evening, Praveen. Good afternoon, Praveen. How are you doing today?
Good afternoon, Grenville. Seems to be in a bit of a tension,
Yeah,
spelling a mistake.
I seem to definitely need my me time now. So it's good that we're going to talk about it.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to start.
Yeah, no, for sure. No, it's a Sunday, so a bit a laid back day. So I think it's a slow start. So how are you doing, Praveen? I know you're traveling, so thanks for coming live from Bangalore. So it's good to have you in transit to Chennai.
Yeah, thanks, Grenville. It's always a pleasure meeting you on Sundays and talking to our friends. That's great.
Yeah, so let's talk on the topic which I think is one of the most important things, but something we give the least importance to, me time, right?
Yes.
So first, for those who may not relate to the term, I think all of us know what me time is, but maybe let's start by saying what do you define as me time?
Grenville, as a matter of fact, people know me time as a word, but I don't think so. We as Indians had kept a me time at any point of time. What I've been including me, maybe you also could be in the list. We as Indians, what we try to do is we try to keep ourselves engaged in the groups and we never isolate us from the surroundings. And all the time, whether it is a stress, no stress, enjoyment, we still have company on that. We never had a separate time for us. And what I think is that most of the Indians feel that it is a sin if you have a separate me time for me. For our viewers, what do you mean by me time is the time spent with yourself to make a deep understanding about what all things going in your life, where you want to go, what has happened, how we need to take our care of things. It is a what is a soul searching opportunity which goes as a practice, and you try to gain more insight about yourself and how you need to place yourself in different situations and how things go on. I think I've covered my way of me time. Granville, why don't you explain what is your way of me time?
Yeah, I think what you say pretty much gels with what I think. Okay, now what I think as my me time is time that I have exclusively to improve myself. Okay, now that only happens if you sit back and look at what have you done. Okay, to learn from your experiences of good and bad, both. That's what
Yes.
teaches us on what we can improve, because what I've seen in my life is that when I've been in very difficult situations, that's the only time I seek my me time. Okay, I go
Okay.
out, isolate myself from everyone, to gather my, as I say, gather your thoughts together and try to bring it to some sort of direction to come out of a bad situation, right? But what I think I have missed in my life is to celebrate the good times. I always believe celebrating good occasions are with people, with family, with children. That has been the way I have celebrated my good and the high parts of my life, rather than again rewarding myself for the what the good things that I have done. Because as you said, I think we as people feel guilty when we feel we are going to indulge ourselves, right? We reward yourself. We feel so guilty that how can I reward myself? I should give my family or my children a gift rather than give myself something. So I relate to what you say, and I have really seen the benefits of really using this time to develop yourself. As I've used it mainly when I've been in a really down and out, this has really helped me calculate my thoughts together, evaluate what I've done, and I've come out very successful in my thanks to God that I've been able to use this to pull myself out of some really difficult and tight situations and go forward, sometimes in my personal life as well as in my business life, both. So I should think that anybody who has never tried it out, just be yourself. As I say, let your hair down and be yourself with yourself. That would
Yeah.
be my
My
definition of me time.
Yeah, my first experience with the me time was not with myself. I
Yeah.
was in US. We had a sales conference, and it was for a hectic 4 5 days a week. And my sales director had been for preparing for the sales conference for almost like 10 days. And it was on the sale conference ended on a Friday. And our customary in our place is that somebody has to take care of me on the when I stay there. They should take me for lunch or dinner. So he was Saturday. He said, "I'm not going to be there. So I will ask somebody in our sales department to take care of you for the Saturday." Then I asked him, what are you going to do for a Saturday? He's a avid runner and hiking. He bikes, mountain biking he does. So he said, Praveen, I am too stressed out with all the things in office. And plus, my wife and mother is there at home. I've told those girls, take care of yourself. I'm off from 6 in the morning to 6 in the night. So
Wow.
what he did is he picked up his truck, put his bicycle on. He had his team guys. They went up the hill in Colorado. They drove all the day and came back.
Hmm.
I was surprised when your wife and your mother-in-law are there and you say, I am not available. How many of us can even think of saying it? I'm not putting it as an offense. I'm just saying that you feel obliged that somebody as a guest is there, you need to take care of them. I cannot say this is I need an isolation or nobody says that. But when you see in the European and American cultures, they have been so straightforward in understanding that I'm stressed out. I need my time out to get to my hobby or whatever, thinking, fishing, any of those things. I need to spend my time with myself. And then I'll come back and join the family things and all. That was a totally, I couldn't understand what he was telling. Then I had to rework multiple times to understand, oh, this is called as me time. And this is something was too exciting for me as such. Do you have any experience like that, Granny?
Well, I'll tell you what I have done. Okay, there was a time when I was going through a really difficult patch at work. Okay, there was stress with my team. There was stress from outside. We were going through a bad patch in the market. There was a recession going on. It was a lot of pressure at the same time. Okay, and I did not want to take it home, so I was on the way back home in my car, and I didn't think that I should, because I was sure I'm going to carry this home, and that's something I tried to separate, is while not very successfully, work and to keep home separate. So I said, let me go and sit alone and try to get over it. This was the intent of
Okay.
actually doing that. So I took my car, I drove to a beach. Luckily, there was a beach on the way. So I just parked my
Okay.
car facing the ocean. Okay,
Okay.
turned down the both the side glasses that I had, put off the air conditioning, put off the music, and switch off the car, and just started
Oh,
looking at
okay.
the ocean. Okay, just started looking at the ocean. My mind was running 300 kilometers an hour. It was in the problem, in the issue, in where we're going to do, what we're going to solve. It was all the questions that I did not have answers for, and it was like really almost like earth shattering, as they say, a situation that really shakes you. Right, you do not know where to go next. But
Yeah,
trust me,
that's
in a
true.
matter of 10 to 15 minutes, one, I had cooled down by the environment and the breeze of the beach, and with the serene view that I was having of just open water. I overall cooled down. One, my heartbeat reduced, and I was able to relax. And actually, in the next 30, 40 minutes, I thought through all the problems. I mean, it sounds like magical, but trust me, it was just not magical. It was just my thoughts getting in order. Okay, connecting the dots of each of the problems that I was having and relating them to each of the possible solutions. Okay, and trust me, I never went back the next day and fixed it. Okay, but this got me in control. As I say, when upset mind, you are not able to find a conclusion when you are upset, right? So this helped me
Yeah.
settle me down, cooled me off, and got my thoughts in order, saying that I am able to do this. I can go back and fix it. These are the possible solutions I could probably do when I go back. So I will go
Okay.
there and start working on it when I go back the next day morning. So when I reached home, I was in a much better frame of mind. Okay, I was welcome the kids and talked to my wife, had dinner, and went to sleep. And they were no wiser till I told them way after that what I actually did. And
Okay.
our wives were like, "Don't do this ever again. Come back home and share it with me." And I told her, "Trust me, I would have only upset you and made things worse for you and the kids if I had got all the problems here. Rather, I
Yeah.
came back in a better frame of mind than I was sitting with you, talking to you about it." So that was my experience with Me Time, Praveen, and it was really, really invaluable.
My father used to do a me time, but I didn't understand about it. What happens is he does some repair work of his car or scooter or anything, and he comes across a problem. So he would try maybe once, twice, it doesn't set. So he doesn't get himself panicked like it is not happening. So what he does is like he'll just see, he'll keep everything there and he'll just go and have a nap. So
Okay.
that nap may be for a half an hour or 1 hour. And soon after the nap, he comes up and says, yeah, yeah, yeah. Now I know what's there, where I made a mistake. Let me solve it. So immediately solve. This I could understand, and most of us tend to do when we are in a problem. But what my thought of why I picked up this topic today is that more than our troubled times, we need to have a me time as a continuous habit. Because what happened is we have our goals, we have a lot of things in place, but we have been so engaged with so many things happening in life because we always do a proactive things on it. So something crops up, then we need to solve it, then we deviate from our regular goals and things, then move forward on that. So what I was thinking is that we also should try to have a separate me time daily for yourself to think about where you are, what you need to do, and what are the things you are facing, whether it's a relationship, it's official, what are things, are we doing something which we could do it differently to enhance everything, relationship or your work or any of those things. So that was my basic urge that this is something I still find that me time in India is almost like a taboo. People don't want to talk about it or they don't want to express it. I think it's our duty to encourage our Indians to start taking it. Okay, we do that when we are youngsters as bachelors. So we tell our parents, no, I'm going off with my friends. But very, very few people, I think maybe it would be less than 10% would say I'm going with my friends and things like that. But 90% they do it. And why I want to relate this in our me time is for a couple of things. One is for the entrepreneurs. The other one is for the people who are in midlife, married, midlife, working, things like that. And the other one was on retirement. So my emphasis on retirement is very easy. Like we see a lot of people who are retired, but they have been so busy in their life, and when they are at retirement, they feel like they are worthless. So they don't. Nobody gives me job, so they become restless, and they try to think about it more and more, and they spoil the health, and more time they spend with the doctors rather than doing it. So that is something like, since we have not done it as a middle-aged people when we got married and things like that. If you don't have an habit or a hobby, so you will not take it forward in your later stage of life. So what's your thoughts?
No, I agree, Praveen. See, whether you are at work or whether you have a personal life, pre or post retirement, I think having time to yourself is invaluable. Now, luckily, since I have my office separately upstairs where my house is. Okay, when I go upstairs in the morning, the first 15-20 minutes, I sit down and first review what I have to do. Okay, it's a practice I did even at work before when I was employed. I would get up in the morning at 5:36 and sit down and first go through what all I did yesterday and prepare myself for what's going to happen going forward. This was time I would not read my mails, I would not check YouTube, I would not watch any videos. Just sit down and just keep my mind blank saying, what am I going to do today and what happened yesterday? I think counting up what has happened and accounting for your time is invaluable, right? Because what
Okay.
you do is what you are going to most probably do again. Like your mind stores memories and you try to repeat the same thing, feeling this is the safe approach going forward. But you can learn good and bad out of what you've done earlier. So you can make attempts to actually change. Now, I'm going to tell you a story that happened with me about my general approach to life. By nature, I'm a very assertive, I should actually say aggressive person. Okay. So I used to come across as very pushy. So I've had reviews saying that you are extremely good at your job, you really do a lot of good things, but in the end you come across as a very aggressive or very opinionated person, which puts off.
What did the name they gave you?
They call me bulldozer, but I look like one. But I also was known to get my things done at any cost. So the point remains is that see, I did not like myself, but I felt that was the winning solution. Okay. But thanks to Mr. Ed Colbert, the HR director of Guardian, who really turned out to be my mentor in the end, sat me down one day and did an analysis, showed me two pictures. Okay. One was of the Hulk and one was of Sir Lancelot. Okay. He said that,
Okay.
who is this and who is this? I said, of course, this is Lancelot and this is Hulk. He said, this is you in your mind. You are Sir Lancelot, a knight who's going out there and trying to save the world, trying to do justice, very virtuous, okay, very, very rule oriented and very goal oriented. But to the people, they see this green, huge animal that's coming out there to eat them alive. Okay, so what you need to do is to work on converting the image, while in the end, there is a Lancelot inside the Hulk too. Okay, it's just that people don't see him. You need to
Yes.
remove this image of the Hulk and bring the Lancelot in front. This is what actually prompted me to sit down and reevaluate every day what I did and what I could have done better. Okay, not
Okay.
focusing just on the bad, but also focusing on what I did right, because that is what reinforced that I should keep doing this correctly. I changed my tone, I changed my approach, I became more patient. And today, the way you see me talking to you now would not be the way you would see me talk earlier. I would be all up and there. I'm a passionate person by nature, okay? But passion sometimes gets misunderstood when you go too far and try to push it. That was
That
where
is
I
true.
used to
That
get
is true.
overboard. So I used this very effectively, and for years after that, it helped me tune myself, okay, to become somebody I wanted to become, not what I became for somebody else. It was what I needed to
Okay.
correct in myself, which I felt was holding me back. And I really saw the results in a period of 6 months' time. When I went for the next review, the feedback was very pointedly people saying, this person has definitely become somebody different. I can see him
Okay.
being a
That is
better
good.
listener. I can see him actually responding in the right way. So, on points that I focused by just sitting with myself, thinking of what I've done and correcting it for the better. Okay. Then I told you, I didn't just focus on the bad. I focused on what I was doing good as well, and said, okay, I got
Yeah.
this right. This is what I should focus on doing right, and this is what I did not do right, which I should see how I can overcome and convert it into another good. So I think that is a very constructive way of using me time. You see, in the end, it's what we feel about ourselves that matters, right? Now, the me time is to make you feel good. Again, let's not use me time to say, how am I going to increase my wealth to make my family more prosperous? How am I going to take care of my son and get him to college? I mean, once you start doing that, you're again taking the whole essence of me time away, right? Me time is meant to be exclusively to make you a better person. That's the way I look at it. I
Yes.
don't know what other people interpret me time as, but I think about making myself good to me, not good for other people. Right? I want to feel good, whether it's my health, whether it's anything else. How can I focus on fixing those factors that I want to make myself feel good about myself in the future? So that's my experience I had, Praveen. I really felt good about it, and when I got the feedback that things have got better in the way I wanted it to be, I really was encouraged that I did the right thing. So I would encourage
So
anybody to
what
use that. Yeah.
Yeah, what I will do is I'll reconstruct the whole story, what you said in a simple this thing. I would say that the me time is a time where you are able to check with reality and you were able to get your self belief on things which is happening, and you can. It also helps you to overcome the fears which is being caused by the opinionated view or the biased view of the people who are surrounded with us. Am I
True.
right?
Absolutely. See, again, as I say, the problem is within. Okay, we always
Yes.
put our problems saying
Solution is
somebody
also
else.
within.
Yeah, the problem and the solution is within us. If you're able to spend enough time with yourself, you're going to find the solution. So I think
That is true.
that should be the approach, that you look at how can I use my time to find the solution to my problem, and then I can
Yes.
go change the world later.
That is true. That is true. And what I was thinking also, like when you spend time with your own self to understand what is happening on it, the more what it comes is your mind cannot keep idle. So it will start prompting lot of issues which you have been facing, and you will come out with lot of things like what people had told about you or what you have heard about them and what you have done to certain people and how things going on. So this gives you a what to say, I would say as a out of the box view, or you see it as a person outside yourself. So you create a situation and you be out of it and see as a third person, how could I have done it differently? Or did I really do it wrong? Or the other person, did he understand what I did was like the exact examples, your Hulk and a Lancelot. So you still think that you are Lancelot and people think you as Hulk. So this, until you put yourself away from yourself, then only you will be able to see it in clarity on it.
I think, Praveen, you nailed it. Okay, see, as you said, you need to get out of your way to fix your own problems. Okay, for that,
Yes.
you need to look at yourself objectively as a third person. Okay,
Hmm.
most of us know where the problem is. Okay, we are
Okay.
living in a life of ignorance. As I say, ignorance is bliss. We prefer to keep it that way because we know the truth. Okay, as I say, you
Yes,
can hide the problem from anyone but yourself. So when you
that
are
is
sitting
true.
out there and you are facing your feelings, the truth is staring yourself, and you have nobody to live up to. You're living up to
Yes.
yourself, right? So you are very transparent. You're ready to bring out feelings that you would not do in front of other people, even people as close as your wife or your parents. You would tend to keep certain things away, but when you're with yourself, you're with yourself. I mean, there are no secrets. So you can actually address those feelings that are very deep seated and things that you really do not know how to overcome and work on them and make them better. I totally
Yeah,
agree.
and I think we can use this thing, this me time to understand like all the problems what you get into. A lot of people at some point of time get into issues of called as self pity, or they feel that they are not performing as they had to perform because of Facebook and all those things. When you compare your friends and things like that, but when you spend time with yourself, then you will understand like what is my potential, did I use my potential, did I do what I could do it 100%, or am I missing something on it, and how to go about it. And it also, once you feel that, you get back to reality saying that, oh, did I do only 50%, what can I do for the next 50%, should I ask for help from somebody, or should I talk to somebody, or what to say, how to explain myself to people. And then you have a self realization, and that is one part. The second part is that you have a fear, and the fear gets bigger and bigger as long you start worrying about it. So this me time also will come to a reality saying that, okay, this is going to happen, what worse can happen, the last thing can happen is kill me. So once you say, okay, this is what the worst thing can happen, then we'll see about it. So it gives you a lot of confidence to rebound and come back into the real life and start expressing yourself correctly.
No, I agree, Praveen. See, the biggest issue with all the issues with that relate to yourself and your personality is again grounded in reality of how you're going to act on your feelings, right? If you're able to address your feelings privately, when you go and interact with other people, you're most probably going to be in control to be a better performer than you would if you were trying to do solve the problem with a group of people, right? They have group therapy, they
Yeah.
have AAA, right? Those are fine. When you're working on a problem, you cannot overcome yourself, right? But 90%
Yes.
of our problems are inbuilt, inherent fears that we have had in our life since a long time. Okay, those reflect in the actions we do and the way we make decisions. Some of the things we work together, Praveen, we know that we have make professional decisions based on what has happened to us personally, and vice versa, right?
Yeah.
Those things are deep-seated thoughts that have been embedded into us by virtue of our bad experiences, and sometimes good. Okay, we use a good experience
Yes.
to again reflect the same thing, which may be in a wrong situation. So just to give you an example of what
That
I
is
was
true.
personal life, okay, when I sat down to evaluate this move to go to coaching, okay, it was a very difficult decision. Okay, I was moving out of my organization. I was thinking of getting another job and starting, and I kept thinking, I need to eventually start doing something for myself post retirement, which is going to be maybe another 10 years from now. But why not do it now? Trust me, I spent a good week of time evaluating the pros and the cons, and then I still kept trying to apply for jobs. Okay, but in the end, the call that came that yes, you should pursue this career of coaching came to me because of my conviction that whatever I was going to do 10 years down the line, I would not be able to be as efficient as I could do it now. Okay, and thankfully, I
Yeah,
have been able to contribute to people in this period of the last 1 year itself, which I would not have accomplished if I'd been still employed. Okay, I would be doing it for a salary
that is
for
true.
one organization, for one person who would earn the money, and that would be the benefit they got out of all the expertise I had gained. Today, a host of companies and organizations are benefited. So, this decision to
That
even
is true.
move needs a lot of self courage and a lot of self motivation to do, and that only comes out of spending your time to yourself.
Yeah, yeah. Grenville, since we talked about the entrepreneurship, I want to share my feeling as an entrepreneur. Like
Sure.
this me time is so important for an entrepreneur that because when he starts and the first 6 months is going to be a really stressful months because lot of things crop up, a lot of unexpected things is there. So and we have the business plan in place, we will not be able to revisit the business plan because your problems are overriding you. So this me time would give you time to understand, okay, should I move forward or what should I do? How should I ask it? Should I bring in my coach saying that this is not happening? What should be done? We should go to plan B or bring in next product or this thing. This, as a coach, you could explain me a lot of things. You do this, you do that. Until I am as confident to take in all your thoughts and to push it forward to my team, it is not going to happen on that. I think the time for yourself is going to be quite a crucial factor for any entrepreneur. Whether it is during a start off or when you are in a mid phase where you want to go for the second expansion phase also. It gives you a real thought. Okay, what is the opportunity which is lying behind? What did I miss all these years? Did I hold myself to do certain things on it?
See,
That's what I think about.
No, I agree, Praveen. See, all the professionals I have worked with have emphasized the point that they spend time with themselves every day. Okay, whether it's been my GM or my director, I've had a few entrepreneurs and businessmen who I have met who have said that yes, we sit down and evaluate where we stand as a business and as ourselves and evaluate ourselves on a regular basis. Some do not do it every day because it's almost impossible, but they have allocated time for themselves to sit down and evaluate what they're doing. I think the crucial part, as I say, you need to measure to make progress, right? So one way of measuring yourself is to collect your thoughts and see where have I come, what have I done right, what have I done wrong, and what can I do right, and create a sort of an action plan for yourself, right? This way you do, and we put a lot of emphasis on business to create action plans and create business plans. We never create a plan for ourselves in most cases. I mean, some of people are ultra organized. Yes, they create a broken down plan for themselves, but to a larger extent, we go with the flow. We say, okay, we go to the office, something will turn up, we will move with that. I would rather you try and make sure that every minute of your day is accounted for, that you actually are productive based on what you want to achieve from yourself. That would make you more efficient and
Yes.
also bring more value to your organization.
Yeah, I think since we are coming to the end of it, what I would say is that me time, what all things we need to take care of it. One is your career. The second one is your health part of it. The third one is your dreams and desires. And the fourth one is your retirement, hobbies, passion, whatever it is. So that as long you keep thinking each part of it, so when the real time comes, you're at least having some basic thoughts about it, whether to pursue, not to pursue, or to change.
Praveen, just a quick comment.
What's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, quick comment before we go. I think you hit the nail with the word you said just now in your list. Hobbies. If you remember when we were small, we were encouraged to have hobbies because we had so much time
Yes.
on our hand after we came back from school or we came back from work, right? Today, the electronic media is over encompassing us. That all we want to do is sit down on our phone or our laptop and open up something like YouTube or whatever and watch it, right? It's robbed us of that hobby mentality that we had, which was the me time that was by virtue became a habit, right? We
Yes.
would either go
Yes.
out and play, we would take on a game, we would be a sportsman, we would play chess, we would do something, okay? Anything that would take you away from your daily monotone of go to work, come back home, go back to work, or go to school, come back home, go back to school. So that would break that monotone and bring a sort of different way of or an outlet to get your me
Yes.
time yourself. So I think we should think of going back to at least starting something with a hobby as a first step. Yes, you could have a more
Yes.
intellectual experience with yourself, but I think focus on taking something that would be an activity, like your friend who takes his bike and goes into the mountains. I think we all can't take bikes and go to the mountains, but at least we can pick a hobby that's suitable to ourselves, right? Something that
Yeah.
we enjoy, something that we are passionate about, and really, really get that going as a habit. So once we get that habit,
Yes.
it would take us off and force us to go and make it our me time. That's my thought.
Yes. That's absolutely right, Grenville. I think we covered most of the things what we wanted to emphasize on the me time. I think hope our friends would agree to us, and we'll wait for the comments on it, and we'll choose a different topic when they come across as such.
So, Praveen, I think it was a good topic thanks to you. We were sticking to business and planning and all this stuff. This was a good break that brought out a lot of personal feelings, and I enjoyed this session personally because it brought a lot of good memories of what challenges I went through and how I overcame them and came to where I am today. So thank you for bringing those memories back to me and helping me enjoy this moment of my me time online with everybody else.
Yeah, I would say it's a me time for Coach Grenville channel.
Absolutely, for sure. Anyway,
Yeah, good,
Praveen,
Grenville, good.
thanks for this
Thank
time.
you,
I know
thank
you're
you.
traveling. See you soon. Have a safe trip. And to everybody who's online, as this would be our last FB Live for this year, we wish you all a blessed new year and a very prosperous, happy, peaceful, and a great year next year. I'm sure things are going to get much, much better than they were in 2020. And we're going to turn it around and make it something wonderful for all of us. So a very happy new year to all of you. Thank you for staying on this channel and being subscribed. Do view this video, like and share it, and do subscribe to our channel, both YouTube and Facebook. And we'll be here every week on Sunday at 2 to share this system with this experience with you. Anything from you, Praveen?
Yeah, happy New Year, guys. Let's welcome 2021 with a bang. So let's move forward. There's nothing to stop. Let's use Grenville style. We'll bulldoze through 2021 and go for the growth.
Great, Praveen. That is a good note to start end also. Have a great trip. See you soon, Praveen.
Yeah,
Goodbye,
thanks.
everyone.
Yeah, bye.
Next week. Have a great time.
Yeah, thanks, Grenville.